Hi everyone! So we are here today to tell you some of our bookish goals for 2019. Sally and I recently wrapped up our goals for 2018.
Yes.
So it's time to make some new ones.
Yes.
Crystal's going to join us this year.
I am.
Very excited. I think we each have 5 bookish goals and a Goodreads reading challenge number, possibly.
Yes.
Alright, so let's just get into it. As per usual, we'll start down with Crystal.
So, my first goal for this year is to read more plays.
Oh.
Earlier this year in the summer, I read a bit more Shakespeare and I read a bit more Oscar Wilde, and I think I just want to read more plays, even if it's just more Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to, because I like having the audiobook, and I have an ebook of Shakespeare's collected works, so it's nice to listen and read along.
Oh, that's really
Because
neat.
some of them are just too confusing to just hear banter back and
Yeah.
forth. Like, I don't know who's talking.
Without any acting there
it's
for
not,
you, yeah.
It's not always ensemble. Sometimes it's just one voice doing everything, and I'm just like, what? So yeah, it's nice to read along. And
you inspired me because I actually took out my copy because I have a copy of
What to Do About Nothing?
Much Ado About Nothing that I've never read.
best.
So I downloaded the audiobook of it and took out
Nice.
my copy last night. I haven't started yet, but we're going to do it.
Yeah,
Neat.
it's, you're in for a treat. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Cool.
What about you, Sally?
I will start with my read more of X genre as well. I actually wrote down several different ones to choose from, but I think the one I'm going to go with is sci-fi. I want to read more sci-fi in 2019. The other potentials were nonfiction and middle grade backlist and classics. So obviously lots to choose from, but I think I'm going to focus on sci-fi this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I also have a more. And for me, because I rarely ever read it, but when I do, I enjoy it, and that's poetry.
Oh, nice.
So I don't think I read any poetry in 2018. I
Okay.
don't think, anyways. So I feel like there's so much good poetry coming out these days, and I haven't jumped on that train yet. So I think I'm going to try to read a little bit of poetry.
Neat.
Yeah.
Do you know who you might start with?
Well, I'm going to read Jason Reynolds' newest book that just came out. I already read Long Way Down. I loved it. But then I don't know. There's just so much out there right now that I'm just going to maybe just go to the library and find some. Because when I was in high school, I really loved romantic poetry. But it's very different than the poetry that's happening these days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Cool.
I'll try something out.
So number 2 for me, I think I'm going to try to finish the series that I already have. I feel like I have so many books being backburnered because I'm like, I read the first one and I loved it, and then you wait so long for the next one to come out, and then you're just like, I'll get to it. And there's just so many books on my shelf. I'm like, I need to read these books. So my goal is to finish some of the series that I've already started.
Nice.
Like, I want to finish the Three Dark Crowns series, the Fenburn series. I reread the first book so I could buddy read the second book, and we've backburnered our buddy read because we're too busy reading other books. And not like we backburnered the buddy read, we're still buddy reading other things.
Right.
So I do want to get caught up on some stuff like that.
That's a good point. Sometimes series can get away with you, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I have like 20 series I'm in the middle of.
Yeah.
Cool. There you, Sally.
My next one is to keep a spreadsheet of the books that I read. Corey is the one who introduced me to this concept and has sent me her template. And then Book Riot also has a template that I was looking at yesterday, so I might kind of merge the two or use them as inspiration and come up with my own. But right now the only way that I'm tracking my reading is through Goodreads, and I've been loving doing that, but I would like to sort of have a more comprehensive breakdown.
The statistics are
Statistics, and also as somebody who DNFs a lot of books, I'd like to remember which ones I like. How far did I get in them? Why did I stop? Kind of make some notes for myself, which the Goodreads you can't really do that.
Yeah.
With. So yeah, just get a little bit more statistical with my reading in 2019.
It's much fun.
I did that a little bit this year while I was on holiday, on vacation. I had nothing else to do. So I opened my Goodreads list and I entered them all into a spreadsheet, and I broke them down to like physical books, audiobooks, and graphic novels. And then I just skimmed through and counted like adult fiction, adult nonfiction, middle grade, and it's interesting to see the numbers of like what you've pushed towards like throughout the year. It's really interesting.
Patterns and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm a nerd with spreadsheets, so I don't know how it's taken me.
Spreadsheets are life.
So my next one is also kind of a read more. It's more of an ongoing thing though. I do this every year pretty much, and that is to read one classic a month. And I have done that this year, and I would like to keep it as a goal because I feel like if I don't have it as a goal, I won't do it.
Fair enough, yeah.
And there's so many classics. Like I feel like I've read quite a few, but I'm constantly looking at like lists of the best classics.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't read like 95% of these.
Right.
So I would like to keep it up. Nice. Because sometimes it's a dud, but sometimes you pick up a book that's considered a classic that you thought forever it's going to be terrible, so boring, and then you end up loving it, which is a great feeling. So I'm going to keep that as a goal going forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Number 3.
I'm going to spontaneously just steal from that. I have never read a Charles Dickens book, and I should. Yeah. I started reading A Tale of Two Cities once, and I was like, I'm going to read Dracula instead. So, yeah, I think, that came out of nowhere, but I'm going to read more, I'm going to attempt to read Dickens this year.
I have most of his big ones. Like I recommend Great Expectations.
I've never even read, I started that sometime in high school, but I was like, I like the movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I've never even read A Christmas Carol, and it's not
that long. Perfect time of year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dickens.
Good spontaneous goal.
Yeah. Awesome.
Inspired.
My next one is to keep my shelves organized. My goal last year was to buy some more bookshelves for my apartment so that I could organize them. And step 1 of that I have completed. I bought them, I put them together, I organized them all to start with. And now they are all just like the front facing like stacks in front of the it's just a mess. They're all over the floor. They're not where they should be on the shelves. So go through my bookshelves, cull some that I know I will never get to.
Yeah.
I for sure said this last year as well. And then put them back where they belong when I'm done with them.
Good luck.
I'm due for a good book purge too. Like every time I go to put something away, I'm just like, I don't have any room.
Yeah.
I'm not reading these.
Yeah.
So.
Good girl. Which one should I do next? Okay, so again, another challenge I do every year is I pick an author that I've never read before that I want to dip my toes in the water. It's usually a fantasy author because there's a lot of fantasy out there and that's my favorite genre. So last year I picked Robin Hobb, Success. So this year I'm going to pick Anne McCaffrey, who wrote the Dragon Riders of Pern series.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite a famous fantasy series that I knew my brother read when we were growing up and my mom read, but I've never read it. And it's classic fantasy, all about dragons, awesome female writer. Gonna try it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's my new author of the year.
That's good. I like how you're author specific.
Yeah.
One of my next goals is to experience new authors. I find I'm a big series reader, so I get kind of caught up in my brand loyalty, and I stick to these like 5 people that I really like.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna try someone else within the same genre. I think, especially more detective authors. I think I want to read a little bit more of, just because there's so much out there that's so different and so good. But I stick to my like 4 authors.
Right,
and I keep everybody out because I'm busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. I definitely want to experience more people.
Neat.
Awesome.
So my next one is to brush up on my genre categories, like just my knowledge of them. Like we were filming something earlier where we were talking about like what is the difference between surrealism and magical realism, and like, you know, what's the crossover between sci-fi and fantasy, and like what else falls underneath all those umbrellas and stuff. I would like to know just for myself, and then also just so that like I can give better recommendations. Yeah, I think it would be.
You get really like you dive into so many, like especially with fantasy. I feel like I'm like, what is the difference between high fantasy and epic fantasy and like low fantasy and like
Yeah, so I'd really like to like really bone up on my knowledge of literary genres.
Well, I have a good website for fantasy for you that kind of breaks it down.
Nice.
And I'm still confused.
Okay.
So my next one is, I made, again, a similar goal last year where I wanted to finish all of Neil Gaiman's work, which I didn't, but I read a bunch more.
Yeah.
And this year, I think it's more of an attainable goal. I want to finish all of Holly Black's novels.
Ooh, fun.
Novels, not short works, because she has a lot of short works
Oh,
that are like in
okay.
different anthologies and stuff, so
Okay.
we're not going to go there. But she has, I think I have probably about, I need to read the Spiderwick Chronicles, which is like a great middle grade series. I need to finish her Magisterium series, which is another middle grade. And I have like two more YA from her that I haven't read. So it's a more attainable goal.
Cool.
It's still probably like a good dozen books, but
You'll knock that out this
but
spring.
most of them are middle. So I should be able to get
Neat. Oh, I would buddy read some of those with you,
Yeah?
because there's a bunch of her middle grade that I've never read.
Let's do it, because
Oh, that's so fun.
I've heard such good things about the Spiderwick Chronicles for so long.
Yeah.
I've never gone there. So. Holly Black.
Cool.
All right, so last goal.
Last goal. Well, Dickens kind of shuffled one out, so I think I'm going to stick with the just carve out time for reading. Like, I feel we all read a lot for work, and so sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and be like, there's only a few emails, I'll read for a couple hours, because technically it's work.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy reading in the morning with coffee and stuff like that, and I feel like I should just carve out more actual reading time that doesn't feel like, I should have finished this book last week, I gotta...
Yeah.
And just like, be like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. I'm just gonna read for an hour.
Pleasure
More of-
reading.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to be like, I need to sit down,
Yeah.
shut off my cell phone, you know, and actually just be like,
Actually, just
Turn off Netflix.
Yeah.
That's my
Yes.
biggest thing. I'm either like completely absorbed in a book after book after book after book, or I've done nothing for 5 days but watch Netflix.
Right.
Like, it's, yeah.
yeah.
So find a balance there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the other night, I came home from wherever I was, and I'm like, I am not turning the TV on. So I put in an audiobook, and I got knitting done.
Oh,
like
that's
I
great.
got stuff done
Yeah.
because I wasn't just like, are you still watching? Yes, Netflix.
Yes,
I am. So, yeah, just to like carve out time to be like, I want to sit down and enjoy something and escape from the world and just
Yeah.
Cool.
like, I'll never forget the morning I made hot chocolate and I read Bob,
Oh,
and I was just like,
what a lovely morning.
this is the best day I've had in a long time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a huge goal for me in 2018, and I'm not going to make it an official goal here because then I have to bump my 5th goal.
You're
but
just gonna keep it
I'm
up.
gonna carry that over because it, I was like so shocked and happy about the shock that like it becomes habit
Yeah.
really quickly once you actually do like set that time aside.
Yeah.
So
Here's
cool,
hoping.
that's a great one. My final one of the year is to attempt at least 5 of the challenges on Book Riot's Read Harder 2019 list.
Ooh.
It is a long list of challenges, so I won't even pretend that I'm gonna do the whole thing, but I think I'm gonna choose 5 of them. I haven't decided on them yet, but it's basically just like a way to get you to
Prompts,
ride. Prompts to get you to read out of your comfort zone and sort of like way more diversely than you might otherwise do. So, like an Own Voices book set in Oceania, a humor book, a book about journalism. Ooh, that would be really good. Or by a journalist. A cozy mystery. I only just learned the term cozy mystery this year.
There's so many of them out there. I haven't dipped my toe into it yet, but I'm so tempted
Maisie
because
Dobbs,
I'm
I've
like,
heard is a fantastic
yeah,
one.
there's some where it's like, she solves crime with her cat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to read that.
Cozy
and
mystery.
it's gonna be cheesy, and it's gonna be kind of, but
Maybe a little formulaic, but just like
it'll be a lot of fun.
So maybe this will be another video coming up next year, which ones I actually decide to tackle. But
And we'll link to this list down,
Yeah,
down below too
absolutely.
if you want to see what's on it.
I'm gonna take a copy of that list, and then we could both talk about it at the end of the year, because that sounds fun.
Yeah, Read Harder has Book Riot has done Read Harder challenges for years now. This is at least the 3rd one that I know of. But
And I'm a big fan of lists.
oh, totally.
Just give me a list.
Check it off afterwards. It's great. So that is my final goal of the year.
So mine's kind of a similar thing because it's also a challenge. And I've known of this challenge for years, but we just got Little Inkling Design's reading journal planner for the next year, and it has the A to Z challenge in it.
Oh, fun.
What the A to Z challenge is you have to read a book that starts with every letter of the alphabet throughout the year. Cool. The and A don't count.
Okay.
And if an X, it can have an X in the title, because nothing starts with A. But basically you have to read a book that starts with A, a book that starts with B.
Okay.
And,
oh, that's fun.
yeah, throughout the year. So I'm not really going to plan it out. I'm just going to try to, like,
fill it in
as I go.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and it's in my reading journal, so I gotta fill that out now.
Exactly.
And it sounds
what fun.
Yeah, I love reading challenges, especially ones that aren't like super specific. Like you can kind of play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah.
All right, time to make another spreadsheet.
Yay!
I like that. That's a fun challenge.
Yeah.
All right, so those are our 5 reading goals each. I probably have a few other smaller things going to go on too during the year, like readathons and stuff like that. But a big one also every year is Goodreads goals.
Yes.
And I think we all set Goodreads goals. And what are you going to set it in 2019, Crystal?
So I've only started the Goodreads goals like not last year but the year before, and I was like, I'm gonna read 52 books because I figure I could read a book a week. It's usually what I do when I'm reading consistently anyway. And I totally beat that. So then this year I bumped it to 65, and I think I've blown that up with 95.
Nice.
Thank you, graphic novels. And so I think I'm just gonna keep it where it's at and set an even 100.
Nice.
Nice. Good one.
Yeah, because I'm at like 94 right now. I got a few things on the go. I might not hit it, but
That's okay.
that's
Some
next year's
motivation,
goal.
yeah.
I've already beaten this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I read books. Corey reads tons of books. It's not like it's a it's a competition.
It's a personal thing.
It's how you want to like, and I find it's fun with the Goodreads list to see, like, look back and see what I did read.
Yeah.
Because some things you're like, I look back at my Goodreads list just under the red list from like 5 years ago, and I was like, that book was so good, and I should recommend it to people.
Yeah.
Like, just, yeah.
Nice.
It's so nice
So
to
yeah.
have a record of it there.
2019, even 100.
Nice. Good.
I can do it.
That's fine.
Alright. I'm not doing an even number. Or it's an even number, but not by 5. Last year in the video that we filmed for our goals, I believe I said 80. And then when I actually went to set it, I dropped it down to 60 on Goodreads. And I think I'm around 65 right now. I might be able to finish a few by the end of the year and get it close to 70. But I did some math, and I'm gonna do 72 as my goal. So that's 6 a month. 6 a month.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal, yeah.
And there's some more like picture books and stuff that I would like to read that have been, you know, floating around that I've heard great things.
Yeah.
I can't decide whether or not I will let those count because they are.
I count them.
Do you count them?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I'm marking them. I don't think there's any reason. Like, people want to know what you think of the things. So I mark them as read because I want people to know that I gave this picture book 5 stars.
Right. Okay. Yes. That.
So it still counts towards my reading, but that's fine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna set it at 72. We'll see how if I get over that or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, 72.
So last year I set mine at 175. And most of you probably know that I surpassed that by quite a lot. By double. But I don't think I'm gonna raise it.
Okay.
Because, and I say this every year, I don't want to feel like I have to read 300 books.
Exactly.
So 175 is a high number. Yeah. I acknowledge this. And I probably will not have problems meeting that number. But if, for whatever reason, my reading slows down, if I decide I don't like to listen to audiobooks anymore, or like whatever, I don't want to have to feel like stressed out about reading more. So,
or that you're like burning through something just to get your numbers up, even though you're not like actually like sitting with it in the way that you should. 175
is an attainable goal for me, and even if things change and I'm not reading as much, I can still do that.
That's awesome.
You know what? I'm going to change my number. I'm going to go down to 80. Because you're right. I did set mine at 65 for this year, and I killed it because graphic novels. But it's because those you could read like 5 a week.
Yeah.
And I do want to read more graphic novels because, man, I got the bug bit me again.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, oh man, more Batman, more superhero,
And there's
more
nothing
stuff.
wrong with that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely
but
not.
yeah, you're right. There's no point in having pressure in your life. I'm gonna go 80.
Yeah, I think you can do
Just-
whatever you want. If you
yeah.
like the pressure, that's great. If you don't want it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's like the Goodreads goal is just such a personal thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like
It's just
not-
encouragement to
Yeah.
like.
But I would
you
rather
know,
set it low and then
Yeah.
go over than set it high
Exactly.
and not make it and like, oh, I failed
Yeah.
my goal.
That's why I'm gonna
So-
go down
Cool.
because
Yeah.
it's just a little encouragement to turn off the TV or
Yeah.
to like to do something and use your brain a little.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love Goodreads goals, but I do think like it's up to interpretation. Do whatever makes you happy. Reading is supposed to make you happy. It's supposed to benefit your life. It
Yes.
shouldn't be like, I need to read.
Must consume pages.
So I think and that comes from somebody who reads way more than an average person. So like, you do you guys.
Yeah.
Then I think that's the moral.
Absolutely.
All right, so I think that's the end of our bookish goals. 2019 is nearly upon us.
Oh my gosh.
Christmas is in a week of filming this video.
As we're filming this video. It's been a great year. Can't wait to see how we do on our goals next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys in a year for a check-in.
Yeah.
Now,
Bring it on, Charles Dickens.
now, if you guys have any specific goals, let us know down in the comments. I love seeing other people's goals and I use them as like inspiration.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I want to
yeah.
do that too. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome.
Bye.